Welcome to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. Later in the show, we'll learn about the Indigenous Wellbeing Program at the University of Arizona with Dr. Felina Cordova Marks. And we'll talk with Danae, introspective and poetic hip-hop artist, Defy. But right now, Susan Levy talks with Tanya Harvey and Memory Dawn Long Chase about the Southwest Indigenous Women's Coalition.
I'm Susan Levy, the Southwest Indigenous Women's Coalition, or SWIC, and it's a statewide tribal domestic and sexual violence coalition that's been serving the tribes in Arizona since 2006. On the phone with us today is Tanya Harvey, Director of Tribal Engagement, and Memory Dawn Long Chase, Domestic Violence Response Director. Hello, Tanya and Memory. It's an honor to have you both on our show, and I'm super excited to learn more about what you've been doing. I think you do the most incredible work, so I want our listeners and the community to know more about what you do. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So before we get started, please tell us a little bit about yourselves, your journey, and how you got involved with Southwest Indigenous Women's Coalition. And Tanya, let's start with you first.
Yes, hi. Again, my name is Tanya Harvey, the Director of Tribal Engagement. So I became part of SWIC since 2015, and prior to that, I was actually started with SWIC back in 2006 as a board member. So I've been with SWIC since its inception, but since 2015, I've become an actual staff member and wearing many hats at that time as a program assistant, and eventually doing more work with the tribal engagement, which meaning tribal communities, going on site, visiting tribal councils, and really letting them know who SWIC is and how we can be a part of their community and how we can assist with providers in regards to training and technical assistance. So thank you for having us again.
Well, welcome. And Memory, how about you? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and how you got involved?
Sure. So my name is Memory Dawn Long Chase. I'm the Domestic Violence Response Director for SWIC. I'm an enrolled member of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. I first became acquainted with SWIC in about 2013, I think, and I worked closely with them. I provided some trainings and things when I was working in the mainstream domestic and sexual violence movement in Arizona, and I became a full-time staff member in April of last year.
Well, welcome to both of you. So let's start with the basics for people that aren't familiar. What is the Southwest Indigenous Women's Coalition, or SWIC?
Formerly, SWIC was the Southwest Indigenous Women's Coalition. And most recently, we changed just to use the acronym SWIC, based off of just, being inclusive of all of our relatives. At the very beginning, we were mainly servicing women, but we felt like overall in going out to communities and hearing from our communities that we opened our services to include all of our relatives, including working with men, including working with women, our elders, our youth, and our LGBTQ Advisory Council. And so lately, I would say a year or two, we've been using just SWIC. But we are a tribal domestic and sexual violence statewide coalition, parallel to what the state coalition provides. And our primary focus is, to build the capacity of tribal communities as well as service providers in regards to building their addressing and responding to domestic and sexual violence within their communities.
So you have lots of great programs. Can you tell us a little bit about them and who's able to participate in those?
So in regards to programs, our main work is training and technical assistance, providing training in individual communities to specific service providers, and even to tribal council. So what we do is go to do site visits with specific tribes and try to provide services to all the 22 tribes here in Arizona. But mainly it's through training and technical assistance. We do have a biannual statewide conference that we hold, which and anybody and everybody who would like to expand their resources in regards to domestic and sexual violence are welcome. But overall, in the future, I want to say that we will expand in regards to focus on our elders and our youth. But overall, we do provide training in regards to domestic and sexual violence.
So let's go back to a couple things that you just mentioned. One, when is you said you have a conference every year, one or two conferences? When is that, or when are they?
So our biannual statewide conference we hold every other year. So we will have start coordinating one in 2024. We do have an upcoming regional training focused on LGBTQ plus two-spirit focus community in June, as we also want to recognize June Pride Month. And most recently, we did have a regional training here in the Phoenix area focused on reconnecting our elders and youth. Those are our latest trainings that we've had. We just finished for April our 40-hour victim advocacy training, and that was for the whole month of April. And we'll do the same for October in regards to just recognizing October Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
So where's the conference going to be in June? Is it in Phoenix or online?
Usually what we try to do is visit tribes that we have not collaborated with. Last in 2022, it was in Pasquiyaki. So we try to collaborate with other tribes. So at the moment, we're not for certain which tribe we will collaborate with, but if anything, then it will be a centralized location here in Phoenix area.
Okay. And I know you mentioned you worked with the 22 tribes in Arizona. Do you also work with tribes in other surrounding states as well, or pretty much focused on Arizona?
So our focused area is the 22 tribes here in Arizona, but we do also do stateside work as well as national work. Our national work is mostly provided by our executive director, Leanne Guy, but we collaborate with many other coalitions because there are 19 other coalitions such as ours across Indian country, but we do also collaborate with our national coalitions and programs too.
So I know you've got next week, or when this airs, it'll be this week, is the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Day, MMIP Day, for those of you that are not familiar. What all do you have planned to honor and to recognize this day?
So on May 5th, we will be in attendance at the large MMIP gathering happening at the Arizona State Capitol. But throughout the month of May, we have several events planned. We'll be going into 5 different tribal communities in Arizona. On May 2nd, we'll be in Chinle. On May 4th, we will also be participating at a MMIP awareness-raising event at Mesa Community College. On May 9th, we'll be in White River. May 16th, we'll be in Colorado River. May 22nd, we'll be in Havasupai. And May 30th, we'll be in Pasquiyaki. And we're also embarking on a statewide awareness-raising campaign by creating and showing a series of billboards that will provide statistics as well as highlighting some of our missing relatives here in Arizona.
You are going to have a really busy month and doing a lot of things. So let's go back and talk about the event at the state capitol on Friday, May 5th. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've got planned, the times, the location, who's invited, things like that?
Sure. Tanya, do you want to? You may have the exact information. Yeah. I know that it's happening at the Capitol, but...
Yeah. Historically, when we first started organizing this event at the state capitol, we started in 2019, and that was a big collaboration that SWIC thought that other organizations and programs could also assist in. So we, at that time, that was the first gathering for the state at the statewide capitol to recognize missing and murdered of Indigenous peoples. And then over the years, SWIC has participated and collaborated with as well. So this year we will also table. So there are about 23 other programs who will table at the event as well. And also there's workshops planned. SWIC will provide a workshop in regards to just the history and efforts that we've been providing since MMIP has been made aware, as well as the Hopi tribe. The Hopi Tewa Women's Coalition to End Abuse is also a partnership with the coalition, as well as, of course, Hung Wensi consulting services and other programs too. But again, on this day, there will be a walk sponsored by Hung Wensi Consulting Services and booth setups and workshops as well. Anybody and everyone is welcome to attend. It will start at 3 to about 8 o'clock.
So the plan is so people can get there at 3, and that's when the educational pieces will be happening. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then what time is the walk?
The walk is scheduled for 5 p.m.
Okay. And you said it's
yes,
open to anybody, right?
Yes. Anybody and everybody is welcome to attend.
And you encourage
we
people...
ask that we wear red. There will be a candlelight vigil as well. So, yeah.
Okay, so they should wear red. And is there anything they should bring for the vigil or anything else?
Everything should be provided in regards to candles, but mainly bring yourselves. There are lawn chairs, blankets. In regards to seating, it will be hot in May, so we ask that if there's umbrellas you can bring. Majority of the for tabling will be under shade as well, but water will be provided too.
Actually,
and
I'm just looking
at a food truck and porta potties.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you've got all of your needs taken care of. I'm just looking at the weather for next week. It actually looks like it's going to be perfect in the mid to high 80s.
Yes, that is perfect.
That's great news. It's going to be perfect. I know last year it was a huge gathering, and you all put on a tremendous event, and I'm sure this year is going to be the same. I know more people are planning on attending. It's really important to go and let your voice be heard. Can you tell us again, where is the event located?
It will be at the Arizona State Capitol. So it will be on a Friday evening starting at 3, but it will be at the State Capitol.
Thank you for all that info. So finally, how can our listeners learn more about SWIC, your upcoming programs, and how can they reach out and contact you?
So we are on all major social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, you can come to our website, www.swic.org, www.swiwc.org.
And is that the same handles for your social media as well?
Yes, I believe so.
SWIWC, okay. And which is the best way they can contact you? Would it be like DMing, or would it be website? What do you prefer?
You can email me directly, memory.longchase@swic.org, or Tanya.harvey@swic.org.
Okay. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of responses. I know we're looking forward to participating next Friday. It's going to be a great event. We encourage everybody to go out, make your voice heard, participate, raise awareness. And you all shout out to you, do a great job. So thanks for taking the time to speak with us today, Tanya and Memory. We really appreciate it. And I know it'll be a great event.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Coming up, Susan Levy talks with Dr. Felina Cordova-Marx. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 2423 West Dunlap Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. Native Health provides primary medical, dental, behavioral health, WIC, and wellness services for the urban Native American community. For more information, call 602-279-5262 or visit our webpage at nativehealthphoenix.org. Native Talk Arizona returns after this song. You are listening to Red by Ray Zaragoza.
Don't go out in the rain. Don't go out in the night. It happens every day. They just vanish from sight. Don't go walking alone. Speak to who you don't know. They've been finding your sisters in the Red River, in the Red River, in the red, in the red, in the red, in the red. Don't go out without your brother. They've been calling your name. See that truck at the corner. See that look on his face. We've got so much to fear. Down on the highway of tears. They've been finding your sisters in the Red River, in the Red River, in the red, in the red, in the red, in the red.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm Susan Levy, and on the phone with us today is Dr. Felina Cordova Marks, and she is a member of the Hopi tribe. She's an assistant professor at the University of Arizona's Mel and Enid Zuckerman College of Public Health and the Department of Health Promotion Sciences. She's also the director of Indigenous Wellbeing. Dr. Cordova Marks has been engaged in American Indian health research for over 12 years, and she's always prioritized giving back to the community. Welcome, Dr. Cordova Marks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Well, it's an honor, and I am looking forward to learning more about what you're all doing. So before we get started, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and how you got involved with Indigenous Wellbeing.
Like you said, I'm Felina Cordova Marks. I'm an assistant professor at the U of A's College of Public Health. I'm a member of the Hopi tribe. I'm originally from Flagstaff, Arizona, but I've been here in Tucson for quite a while now, so it's like my second home as well. So for Indigenous Wellbeing, we started it a couple of years ago in response to hearing all of the needs for additional wellness programs, basically kind of any wellness focused on resilience and grounded in culture. So that's how we started Indigenous Wellbeing. It started during the pandemic, during the height of it. So our events were completely virtual then, and slowly we've been trying to go into hybrid events. So doing both online as well as in person at the same time to be able to reach as many people as possible, as well as people that might not be able to attend in person for health conditions, as well as people that are differently abled.
So I've seen some of your programs, and they are amazing. So what kind of programs, can you tell us a little bit about what kind of programs you have? Are these only open to U of A students, or are they open to the community as well?
So all of Individual Beings programs are open to everyone, everywhere. We have had people from other countries join, from Canada, New Zealand, Australia. So we actually have reached beyond Tucson and the U of A community. A lot of stuff that we do in person is here in Tucson, just because we are actually here, myself and program coordinator Billy Carson. So we do a lot of events here in person, but we also record them to put them on YouTube. We also put them on Zoom as well to make the events hybrid. Everyone can join. We try to be as inclusive as possible.
Okay, so I know you've done, can you give us like an example for people that aren't familiar with what kind of programs you've done in the last couple months?
We try to do a wide variety. So we do kind of base our program on the medicine wheel. So we do try to include as many aspects of the medicine wheel at each of our events, and do a wide variety of different kind of well-being focused events to try to get as many people as possible to attend and to kind of hit on everyone's interests. So in the past, we've had lots of different events. One of the recent events that we had was bringing in author Caitlin Curtis to discuss wellness from the perspective of her recent book. We also have had other authors. During wintertime in December, we do a winter wellness storytelling. And those are primarily a little bit more focused for the kids. We've had Kevin Mallard read Fry Bread. We've had Powwow Day read by the author as well. We've also brought in Angeline Bully, the author of The Firekeeper's Daughter, to do a reading and then to meet with students, as well as potentially other community members as well, to discuss wellness and their views on wellness, and to kind of meet one-on-one with people, especially students, for kind of mentoring for students. We've also done powwow aerobics with First Nations Dallas Arcand. He was here in town. He's one of the former world champion hoop dancers. So he did powwow aerobics. We've done yoga with First Nations instructor Jessica Barudin. And a couple other events that we've had have been focused on MMIP, which we have coming up as well. We do a pretty wide variety of different events. We've also brought in speakers to discuss food sovereignty and how to indigenize your kitchen. So we do offer a pretty wide variety of different events.
You've done a tremendous amount of programs. So it's probably like asking about your favorite child. Have you had a favorite program so far?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Yeah, I don't even know. I'd say that our MMIP events are pretty powerful. We try to focus on healing and kind of really be focused on that during the event. So I feel like probably our MMIP run for awareness has been really great. And then our symposiums too. Gosh, there's a lot of good stuff. It's hard to pick.
Okay, so let's go back to the MMIP, which is Missing and Murdered Indigenous People. So MMIP, for those people that are not familiar with the acronym. I know you've got a couple events planned. So you've got a symposium and a run walk. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so on the actual National Day of MMIW awareness, and it's W just because that's what it was named as, but we call it MMIP, and some other people might call it MMIR, so relatives or people or women. So it's actually on the National Day of Awareness, and it is May 5th. We will have events going all day virtually that day. It's a symposium. So for that, we have local guests from Tucson, as well as kind of larger areas of the state. and national guests as well as international guests. So for Arizona, we have Lieutenant Governor Monica Antone. She's going to be speaking. For local, we have Mr. Alfred Urbina, who's the Attorney General for the Pascua Yaqui tribe, who's been very instrumental advocating for MMIP and VAWA, the VAWA Act, Violence Against Women Act. Talking as well, we have Lori McPherson from the Department of Justice. She's the National Marshal's MMIP lead. And internationally, we have a First Nations Two-Spirit speaker discussing about how MMIP, MMIW, MMIR affects our Two-Spirit people as well. And we're actually hoping to announce a couple additional guests as well from Mexico discussing the MMIP issue down in their area, as well as potentially some other places around the world, other different indigenous nations and groups.
So that's the symposium on, you said Friday, May 5th, correct?
Yes. So the symposium will be Friday, May 5th,
okay.
8:45 to around 5 p.m. And it's all virtual, so people can join in. They just need to register. And it's all on Zoom, all virtual.
And then when is the run walk?
So the third annual MMIP Awareness 5K walk run will be Sunday, May 7th, down here in Tucson at Brandy Fenton Park. We will start very early as the sun starts to get up earlier. We will be starting the run registration. People can check in around 5:30, get their shirts and other kind of freebies that we might have as well. And then we'll start with events around 6 a.m. So we'll have an opening blessing. We'll have some dances for healing, some different groups will be doing some dances. And then we will start the run. So around 6:30, we will start the run.
So this is open to anybody, correct?
Yes, the MMIP Awareness 5K is open to everyone. We definitely want to see as many people there as possible to help increase awareness. So everyone is invited. Just come with a good open heart.
Sounds like it's going to be a great event. The weather should be perfect. So it sounds like it's going to be wonderful. So do you have any other upcoming programs planned, or just should people check your website? How can they find out?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways to find out about our programming. We have a Facebook page and Instagram page. We keep those pretty well updated. We also have a website on the public health page as well, the University of Arizona's College of Public Health. We have a YouTube page as well where we store a lot of our past events. So if anybody wants to try powwow aerobics or yoga with First Nations instructor Jessica Barudin, they can go onto our YouTube page and check us out there.
So can you go back? Tell me what's your handles for your Facebook, your Instagram, and your YouTube page?
Yeah, so all of them are Indigi Wellbeing. And it's just Indigi Wellbeing. Those are our handles on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter as well.
And that would be INDIGIWELLBEING. Is that correct?
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for coming on today and letting us know about your run, walk, and all of your programs. I've watched some of them and they're wonderful. I'm looking forward to participating in your symposium virtually next Friday. Unfortunately, I won't be in Tucson, but it sounds like it's going to be a great event Friday and Saturday. So thanks for coming on and letting us know what's happening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for all that you do as well. Thank you.
Up next, we'll talk with Dene hip-hop artist Defy. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 2423 West Dunlap Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. Native Health's patient enrollment specialist can help you enroll, renew, or update your access information. This can be done in person, on the phone, or via Zoom, days, nights, or weekends. It's fast, easy, and can make a difference in keeping your health care coverage. For more information, call 602-285-9492.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm Susan Levy. Today, artist Defy continues to carve out an original niche from introspective and poetic hip-hop. Hello, Defy. It's an honor to have you on our show today.
Hey, peace. What's up? Yeah, it's good to be on your show.
Well, I'm super excited to learn more about your music. So before we get started, can you tell us about yourself, your journey, and how you got interested in music?
Yes. So my name is Christopher Mike Bitta. I got started in my musical journey probably around middle school. It started out as a passion and a hobby, and really fell in love with hip-hop culture, combining rhythm and poetry, combining percussion with my vocals, and also music production together. And I started out middle school also playing in a band, and from that point on started to also become immersed in battle rap, and grew and evolved from that point, and really got interested in music from my childhood. And thanks to my mom, she taught me how to read and write at a younger age. That kind of gave me a huge boost in becoming an MC, and also spoken word artist and wordsmith.
So let's start with the basics. Tell us about the different styles of music, including hip-hop, spoken word, and contemporary Native American acoustic that you work on.
Okay, so hip-hop for starters. Hip-hop, I first started out as a dancer, but a lot of my contemporaries and friends were so great at it that I had to find some type of outlet that I could excel at and become great at. And so after dance, discovered that I could become an artist through hip hop, and so thankful that we have hip hop culture today in the world, and it's one of the largest, if not the largest culture in the world today. So I'm honored to be a part of it and offer myself and my skill set as an MC, and combine that also with spoken word. So usually in hip hop we have instrumental backings known as beats, and those revolve around beats per minute. But when we're usually including spoken word, that could be a cappella. And contemporary Native American acoustic, usually I sometimes play a flute or combine vocal percussion with the flute sounds, and that just creates sort of like a fusion, something different than I guess the basic fundamental like hip hop sound that people usually hear. And so just combining all those three is kind of a little bit about how I create these different styles of music.
So do you have a favorite type of music out of those three, or you just like to combine all of them?
Yeah, I love reading poetry, seeing poetry, like the words on paper. I think it's really cool to see how writers and poets can express themselves, and seeing the words on paper, I think helps the reader dive into the body of work a little bit more. But hearing the music and hearing the poetry as well, combining all of that, I think it's a beautiful art form. And so I think I do really enjoy hip hop a lot because it combines all of those elements that I really love. So, and then being Diné, like I'm from a federally recognized tribe known as Navajo. So being from living in also urban and rural areas, it's kind of like helped me also develop an affinity for both hip hop and Native American acoustic or indigenous music as well.
So then how do you incorporate your heritage into your music? I mean, do you do that, or you trying to do that, or do you have plans to do that?
I think I definitely do that as a lot of my song content and the lyrical content is inspired from my cultural heritage. So within my music, you'll hear a lot of values that are included from my cultural heritage. You also hear words from my Diné vocabulary. I wish I spoke more fluently, but I'm definitely working on incorporating the Nepazad into my music, into my work. Have done so, but definitely like to include more into it.
Okay, and I want to go back for a second. You said that your mom kind of influenced music when you were a child. Is that how you got interested in music?
Yes, she was always playing music everywhere, and she even told me that I would nod my head to beats in my sleep. And my neighbors actually were rapping a little bit too when I was younger. My older brother Shane Lawrence Spita, he actually was a huge inspiration for me in helping us grow as adolescent youth and falling in love to music and having music around as a therapeutic outlet, but also a way to transcend adversities and obstacles within our neighborhoods. So it was so helpful in many ways, and I'm really giving thanks for how music plays lives in all our lives, really. But yes, I think my mom definitely helped out at a younger age.
Well, music is so important. I agree. I think it's therapeutic and it's important and a good outlet for adolescents and as you grow. So that's a good message. What other messages do you hope to spread through your music?
I hope to spread positivity, upliftment, empowerment, and just good vibes overall within my music. I hope to inspire and motivate others as well, and just to help others get through anything in life too. I think music is helpful in that way also.
I agree, definitely helpful. So when I was doing the research on you and what you've done, I know that you had Indigenous Worldwide that was released in February. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. Indigenous Worldwide is a new single that was released, and it's featuring my good friend, and he actually also risen and went on. His name's DJ Ohm. He was an amazing DJ, and the idea of Indigenous Worldwide, it sparked from the Indigenous Peoples Day movement happening across the country, Turtle Island, and what started out as an annual event in New York City to encourage and advocate for Indigenous peoples, and also to encourage the city to recognize and acknowledge Indigenous Peoples Day, also came the idea to create an anthem and a song. So this song is also accompanied with a music video that was shot and filmed out in New York City, out on Randall's Island, and also Times Square. And the beat is produced by Percy Wells, who's a local artist here in New Mexico. and I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, scarred but we're never dead. Heart like a rebel red. Bars from a thoroughbred. Sharp like an arrowhead. Believe in peace for all beings in each region. The trees breathing, streams deep in the spring season. Chiefs keep chiefing, indigenous queens leading. My ink's bleeding, keep thinking while dream weaving. To a newer definition of traditional boom bap. You're listening to aboriginal, medicinal, smooth rap. A little wild style with some powwow to make you dance. Gather round the roundhouse for major plans. Today we take a stand, save this native land. Yeah, pray with sacred chants, ways of ancient man and woman. Giving thanks to the creator, praise and raise my hands. Making clay from sand, embrace our Aryan clans. Yeah, new school to old school, go make the connections. Four sacred elements, four sacred directions. Indigenous tribes, we have survived worldwide. Now it's time to thrive. We have survived worldwide. Indigenous tribes worldwide. Yeah. Now it's time to thrive. Open up your mind. Giving thanks to the creator every day. I'm on the road. Broke down out of town, but I made it to the show. Was a baby in the cradle, thankful that I'm grown. I cherish my grandparents, they made it on their own. I'm on the red road, they tried paving it with gold. While each flow is a prayer that's painted with my soul. I'm giving it my all, while haters and naysayers are wishing that I'd fall. I'm not giving up, I'm up listening to Paul. They can't box us in, so we're kicking through the wall. And I've written this for y'all. Breaking out the system while changing how I'm living. Raised up in two worlds but saving our traditions. Under the sweet moonlight, I reach new heights. I speak peace through mics and bring dreams to life. Yeah, awake to another day with a renewed sight. But this isn't deja vu where you can redo twice. Whoa, yeah, indigenous tribes, we have survived worldwide. Now it's time to thrive. We have survived worldwide. Indigenous tribes worldwide. Yeah. Now it's time to thrive. Open up your mind. Giving thanks. Yeah. Thankful we survived last year. Praying for our ancestors, my tribe's right here. They say it's the weather with pressure, but I could feel the vibes in the air. The message is the lies with the fear. Looking at the highlights and hindsight reappear. Blurry 2020 vision, what happened isn't clear. No crowds too quiet, we find time to cheer. Collecting memorabilia, stripes and riot gear. Way past the television as I have teleported. Hovering mothership, metamorphing, shutting down your warship. Not as concerned with sports or who's really more lit. From a disenfranchised tribe, I was a poor kid. And we're survivors of genocide for generations. Scorched earth policies, long walks with poison blankets. This country is corporate and my culture is sacred. You can put your weapons down, you can put down your hatred. Yeah, indigenous tribes, we have survived worldwide. Now it's time to thrive. We have survived worldwide. Indigenous tribes worldwide. Yeah. Now it's time to thrive. Open up your mind. Yeah.
So
Available on all platforms.
okay, that was going to be my question. Which platforms?
Indigenous Worldwide is available on all platforms.
So Google, iTunes, Spotify.
Yeah, you can Google Indigenous Worldwide, Defi, or just type in Defi. I also have a website, defi.com. It's just def-i.com, def-i.com.
Okay. Wait, let's go back a second. So how's your music evolved in, let's say, the last 5 or 10 years? And did anything change during COVID, or just how's it evolved?
Yes, that's a great question. I think my music definitely has evolved over the years, especially within the last 5 years. I've taken it more seriously. One of my best friends, risen and he went on. His name was Wake Self. I think when him and my older brother went on, it sparked a huge amount of drive for me to want to continue releasing music, creating music. And during the pandemic, it gave us all a chance, I think, to step back and rework on things from the business side, from the creative process side, and all many different types of ways. So all of that, I think, helped my music evolve, especially as a songwriter, really sitting there listening to music and thinking and wondering, meditating on how it could evolve and get better. The pandemic kind of gave us some time to do so while we were at home. So when I came back to write my my latest album out now, titled Water Edges, I think you can really hear this evolution of my music as a songwriter. My new music that's about to be released, I think I'm definitely more vulnerable, have healed a lot, was able to process a lot of my feelings, and many other experiences of my life. So I included all of that in this new music, and you can hear the evolution in it.
I listened to some of your past music, and I definitely see what you're talking about, or heard what you're talking about. And I think the pandemic gave a lot of us a lot of pause and thought, and kind of evolve. So I think your music definitely reflects that. I know you've talked about how your music has evolved. And then what do you have upcoming? I know that you've been on some other shows and some other events. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so upcoming, I have a lot of events coming up. Even this week, I host an annual event that happens every last weekend in April. And this year is the 11th annual Gathering of MCs event. And that sparked from me wanting to create a platform for others and then help uplift other voices too, whether they're indigenous or any voice really. It's also an intertribal rap showcase. I host a freestyle rap tournament, beat battles, and it's also a release party. Touring quite regularly throughout the whole entire country, throughout the whole year. So my schedule is available online if people are interested in checking out my tour dates. You can follow on Instagram, or you can just check out my website as well. I have a lot of new music releases coming about as well. This summer I'll be dropping a few new albums, and I'm really excited about releasing this new music that we're talking about.
And finally, how can our listeners hear your music, and how can someone reach out and contact you?
Okay, so my music is available on all streaming platforms. If you'd like to go to my website, you can go to defi.com. I also have music available on Bandcamp, and I kind of like Bandcamp because they allow artists to receive all proceeds on every other Friday, I think. So shout out to Bandcamp, and shout out to all platforms, though. You can find my music if you just go to Google, type in Defi, go to Instagram, type in my name, Defi. You can find me there, and there's a lot of music available for listeners. I have over 10 albums released, and within the last 5 years, like we were mentioning, there's a large burst of releases there for you to check into if you'd like.
Okay, one more question. How do you spell Defi? For people that want to check out your website, yep.
So you have hi-fi, you have lo-fi, you have like Defi, but I spell Defi DEF-I, or some people say DEF-I. So it's just DEF-letter I, basically, for those listening. And you can find my upcoming concerts and performances on Songkick. Also, just type in my name and check it out. You can see how if I'll be coming towards a city or town venue near you.
Thank you so much. I checked out your music. I love it. And you definitely produce a lot of stuff, and it's great music. So thanks for coming on Native Talk Arizona. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Susan. We really appreciate you, too. Shout out to everybody out there. Much love. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and 90.7 FM KRDP. Our executive producer is Susan Levy. Sound engineer is Javier Quiroga, and our host is Lanasha Puadi. We hope you will tune in again next week. If you have any questions, please reach us at nativetalkaz@listen2krdp.com.